Welcome to the Eat Better, Move Better, Live Better podcast presented by Flourish with Tracy, where we'll dive into the realms of holistic wellness, plant-based nutrition, yoga, and self-care to help you live your best life. Tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern for our special segments. Meditation Monday. Start your week with mindfulness. Wellness Wednesdays. Get the midweek boost you need. Sadhana Saturdays. Dedicate weekends to personal growth. Join us as we explore and discuss all things to eat better, move better, and live better. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. Today we're going to talk about holding on to your power, not giving it away. Giving away your power or energy means allowing external forces, whether people, situations, or internal habits like negative thoughts, to drain or control your emotional, mental, or physical resources. It often occurs when we disconnect from our authentic selves or fail to set healthy boundaries. It is said that energy flows where attention goes. It is important to retain your power, to focus on what truly matters, to conserve and channel your energy effectively, to maintain control over your inner energy, to prevent it from draining through overcommitment, negative attachments, or lack of boundaries. It's important to make sure that your attention is positive. From a yoga or mindfulness perspective, reclaiming your power means staying grounded in the present moment, nurturing your inner strength, and acting in alignment with your values and boundaries. Practices like self-awareness, deep breathing, or conscious choices can help you preserve your energy and live authentically. It's about cultivating resilience and knowing that your power lies within you, not external circumstances. In yoga, energy is life force. It's called prana. It is the vital energy that sustains life. It's essential to nurture and preserve energy for well-being. Hold on to your energy. Hold on to your power. There is a difference between providing servitude for your community or performing work and giving away too much or externally leaving no energy for yourself. We know what this looks like. We overextend ourselves by taking on more than we can handle, and that leads to burnout. We hold on to negative attachments, holding grudges, or dwelling on past events siphons off our energy. We sacrifice our authenticity trying to please others at the expense of our true selves, which leaves us feeling depleted. It disconnects us from our inner truth. When you prioritize external expectations over your own needs, you lose touch with your authentic self. Other signs of giving away your power or energy can often reveal themselves in emotional, mental, physical, and relational imbalances. Your body will tell you. It'll manifest as an emotional imbalance. You may feel resentment, anxiety, or overwhelm when your energy is misaligned. This overwhelm or resentment can happen when you let others dictate your actions. Sometimes it manifests as anxiety or guilt when we constantly worry about pleasing others or feel guilty for prioritizing our own needs. It can also show up as a lack of confidence when we doubt our choices or feel dependent on external validation for self-worth. Mental signs could be an inability to focus, difficulty concentrating because our energy is scattered all across so many different tasks or emotional concerns. When we overthink, ruminating over situations, especially about how others perceive us or whether we're doing enough. And when we get disconnected, losing touch with our authentic thoughts, values, or inner truth. We give away our power physically when we let fatigue or persistent tiredness or lack of vitality take precedence over our own adequate rest. It can show up as stress, as physical tension, headaches, or other conditions from being overextended, such as burnout when we feel drained or depleted after prolonged periods of neglected self-care. When we have physical fatigue and lack of vitality, we have a constant tiredness. Other ways we give away our power can be through draining relationships and situations, certain environments or people that pull us away from our energy and our power when boundaries aren't properly in place. When we allow others to overstep our emotional, physical, and mental limits and we don't address it. When we're in an unequal dynamic where we're always feeling that we're giving in while receiving little in return. And when we avoid conflict by constantly saying yes to things that we really don't want to do just to avoid confrontation or disappointment. We fall into the behavior pattern of people pleasing, putting others' needs ahead of our own, at the expense of our own well-being. We overcommit, taking on too many responsibilities out of obligation of fear, of rejection. And we neglect our self-care. We skip the routines that ground and replenish us because we're prioritizing giving away our energy and power to external demands. These signs often reflect moments when we need to prioritize external factors such as others' opinions or expectations over inner needs and boundaries. If any of these resonate with you, taking small steps such as practicing mindfulness, setting boundaries, or reconnecting with our authentic self can help us reclaim our energy and our power. A few yoga principles that you can practice to help restore or empower yourself is ahimsa, the act of non-violence or non-harming. It's the practice of self-compassion when we respect our limits and make choices that nurture instead of harm. Satya, the practice of truthfulness. Honoring our authentic voice means speaking and acting in alignment with our values. And Svadhyaya, self-study, regular reflection which helps us understand our energy patterns and helps us make the choices, conscious choices, to stay balanced. We can practice mindfulness techniques to stay present to help retain our power, such as body scan meditations. By cultivating awareness, it allows us to systematically tune into our body's sensations. It fosters a deep sense of connection. Being aware of our breath, using deep, mindful breaths to calm the mind and create a sense of clarity and focus. And repeating affirmation mantras or practicing such as, I am grounded, I am empowered. It helps reinforce positive energy and intention. And finally, setting boundaries. It's an essential part of retaining and protecting our energy. Healthy boundaries serve as a framework for respecting our limits and creating space for our well-being. When we say no when it's needed, it helps us recognize our limits and honor them by preserving our energy and our power, and it prevents overcommitment. It helps us cultivate energy and allows us to surround ourselves with the people or events that uplift and inspire us to minimize exposure to draining dynamics. And it allows us to align our actions with our values. When our choices reflect our personal values, our energy feels purposeful and balanced. So how can we set boundaries to protect and retain our energy or our power? Practical steps are identify our needs and our limits. Reflect on the situations or relationships where we feel drained or overstretched. We can ask ourselves, what do I need to feel balanced, supported, or energized? Recognize our limits, whether they're emotional, physical, or mental. They help define our boundaries. We can communicate clearly and assertively by using I statements to express our boundaries without blaming anyone else. For example, I need some quiet time to recharge. We want to be clear and concise about our limits. avoid over-explaining or apologizing or prioritizing our needs. We can practice saying no confidently when a request exceeds our capacity. We can practice saying no before the event actually begins. We can imagine ourselves before a mirror and looking in the mirror and saying no. Take a moment to scan how your mouth moves or feels. What do you look like? How are the muscles in your face moving when you practice the word no? And as you practice, it becomes comfortable, and you're able to say it when you need to. You can practice mindfulness and self-awareness as well, staying present and tuned into your emotions. Notice when you feel discomfort, resentment, or fatigue. Those are signals that there's some violations occurring to your boundaries. Regularly check in with yourself and ensure that you're honoring your limits. Prioritize making time for activities that restore your energy, hobbies you enjoy, time outside in nature, exercise or fitness. Protect your non-negotiable self-care time. Don't compromise it for any unnecessary reasons. And limit exposure to things or influences that drain you. Create distances from toxic relationships or environments that consistently deplete your energy. Set boundaries with people who overstep. Limit the time you spend with them or redirect the conversation. Align your actions with your values. Ensure your decisions and commitment align with what truly matters to you. When your actions reflect your values, you'll feel more grounded and empowered. And establish a physical and emotional space just for you. Define a personal physical boundary, a space or time for yourself, such as having a quiet corner to unwind. And protect yourself from taking on the emotions of others or problems as your own. Be consistent and be firm. Consistency reinforces your boundaries and helps others to understand, see, and respect them. Stay firm even when you're faced with pushback. Remind yourself that setting boundaries is an act of self-respect, not selfishness. It protects your energy and your power. And revisit and adjust boundaries as needed. They don't need to be restrictive. Boundaries may evolve over time. Regularly reflect on what's working and make adjustments as necessary. And live with empowered energy. Start each day with an intention. Set it to prioritize to what truly matters. Reflect on where your power and energy is flowing and redirect it to align with your goals and needs. Create grounding rituals like a gratitude journal or mindful walks to maintain a sense of stability. Do not give your power away. Practice yoga postures such as mountain pose, which is a grounding posture. It establishes stability and a sense of presence, reconnecting you with your inner strength. The warrior poses are powerful postures that build resilience, confidence, and a sense of purpose. Or the child's pose, a restorative posture that allows you to physically recharge, physically and emotionally. By cultivating and maintaining boundaries, you regain and retain control over your energy and your power and your well-being, creating a foundation for a more empowered and intentional life. When you reclaim your energy, you reclaim your power. When you reclaim your power, you reclaim your freedom. This reinforces the importance of protecting and honoring your energy for a more empowered life. Commit to staying present. Commit to practicing self-awareness. Commit to adopting habits that honor your energy and authenticity. Commit to retaining your power. Commit to not giving it away. Thanks for tuning in. I hope today's insights help you on a personal journey towards a healthier, happier life. Don't forget to join every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern for more self-care and holistic wellness tips. Before you go, make sure to comment, click the bell, like, and subscribe buttons for upcoming episode notifications. Be sure to always consult a medical professional before making any major changes regarding your health, diet, or routine. In the meanwhile, stay motivated, stay inspired, and remember, every step you take is one step closer to a better you. Until next time, keep flourishing, and as always, may all be well.